Welcome to the show. This is your host, June Archer, and I am here. Another episode of the Winner Circle Motivate You here on thisis50.com. Today I have a good old-time friend of mine who I got to say, man, it is so amazing to see how much she has grown and just amazing. From day one, she's been beautiful on the outside and the inside, and I know that she's going to warm your heart after you take a listen. Please welcome to the show, Dynasty. Dynasty, what's going on, sis?
Thank you. I'm doing great. Thank you for the beautiful intro. It's so good to see you. Shouts to everybody tuning in. Happy to be here with you.
Oh man, this is amazing. We were just talking backstage that you've been out in LA before the pandemic hit, and now you're there, sunny California. How have the vibes been out there for you since you've been out there?
I love the vibes. Sometimes people get in your ear, they're like, oh, it's tough out there to grind. It has been nothing but beautiful. God got me from the first time I came in 2018 still to now. Like, things are moving. I look out my window, I see palm trees, and behind it, I see mountains. I never would have thought a girl from Queens would care about a mountain, but I love it. You know what I'm saying? It's gorgeous. So it's beautiful scenery, beautiful people. I'm having a good time. Feeling super great.
So now let's talk about that. Queens, New York, Queens representing. What were your influences and who were the artists that allowed you to dream big in this space when it comes to hip hop, when it comes to music, when it comes to becoming an artist?
Yeah, definitely. I came up, I was a kid in the 90s. So that 90s boom bap, East Coast music is what influenced me. So you got the Smith and Wessons, When I really started rhyming, Das Effects is who got me into rhyming. I was a little tomboy and I started taking a little rickety, trying to throw my name in it. And before you know it, I'm like, I'm actually good at this. Then we had, we had Method, specifically like Method Man, we had Nas, we got Jay, Lauren. Then when Lauren dropped Miseducation, I'm like, yo, there's a woman really spitting with substance and she's dope. Like, it's not corny, it's fire. Yep. There's room for me. There's room. I don't have to do the most. I can really talk about some things and be authentic and really shine. So those are some of the sounds that, like in the 90s, the Fugees, that just really inspired me. And to this day, wherever I show up, they're like, where are you from? When I started popping up on stages in LA, they're like, you're not from here. You can still hear the influence. Years later, you can still hear it in my music. So it's never going away.
Now, we had the opportunity to meet 2014. It was an event that I was able to curate with someone who at the time was our mentor, E.T., the hip hop preacher. And everyone ascended on Hartford, Connecticut, my hometown. And we turned the place out, sold out, crowd, so much motivation and inspiration. For you, what motivates you to continue to do what you're doing?
Being grateful for life, honestly. I was just sharing with someone yesterday, different things I've experienced, my family members, struggles that people go through in life, the ability to wake up and do what it is that I love, the ability to be like, I want to be in LA. I want to move to LA and pursue this some more. I want to use it all. I want to use my voice. I want to show up. And through that, but this whole thing is about this whole dream pusher thing. I want to show people what it looks like to touch their dreams. Like, it's possible, and what that looks like in action, the joys, the struggles, the triumph, the struggles that come with that too, the things you have to overcome, but it's worth it. And this is what it looks like. And if you see me doing it, you can do it. So that is legit inspiration in my music and the way I move. And, I'm in acting out here now. Got a few things going on, but ultimately I woke up, I have this opportunity. I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it all.
Now, you've had obstacles, you had trials and tribulations, you've had setbacks, closed doors, no's. In those moments, what do you lean on to continue moving forward?
So I always say all things working, and even when it's hard to believe that, because sometimes you get that no, you be this close to something and you get that no, or you experience something in life and it's like, do I really mean this? This is what I say, but right now I don't feel like all things working, because this ain't working. It feels like it's not working right now. But I'm very grateful to be blessed with the spirit of willingness. Like, I will tell everybody, like, I'm very open and transparent in that I have my moments. Last year was super tough for me, but I always have something in there that knows this ain't it. It'll get better. Remember the last thing you went through, you thought that was a wrap. You're still here.
And just being grateful in those moments, right?
I'm grateful. Looking at like, oh, this really sucks right now. But you know what? It's a good life. It sucks.
And being honest. And being honest with yourself. Yeah, this is not good.
This is not good. I'm not good. Say, you can't woo-woo everything away. Saying like, I'm positive so nothing affects me. No, like this hurts. This sucks. This feels like I just got kicked in the chest. This is really bad. But I've been through things and I came through them and I'll get through this, you know? So that really keeps me knowing that, you know, as long as I'm here, I have opportunity. I can start something again, try something again.
No, I love that. For you, is there people are hurting, people are going through things right now. People are looking for encouragement, motivation, and inspiration.
Yep.
We've been in those spaces. We've been in those rooms, in those places. And we gravitate towards those things. Is there a piece of advice or a gem that you have gotten along the way that you lean on in those times when, man, I knew I was this close. I knew I was just a little more talented, not trying to block anybody's blessings, but I really felt like that opportunity should have been mine. Is there a word of encouragement or is there a scripture that you lean on that someone watching or listening today could say, man, I'm going to try that out, or I'm going to read that, or I'm going to pay attention to that. I'm going to repeat that to myself over and over.
Yeah. You know, I think it's just knowing, as cliche as it sounds, you got to get to a space where, and this takes work. This takes sitting with yourself, which pandemic sat me down. This takes sitting with yourself and really knowing that what's for you won't pass you by, but challenge yourself to do the work and be prepared for it, right? I wanted this so bad. And maybe I didn't get it. This could be, acting teaches you that. You go on all these auditions. You don't hear back from people. They ghost you. You don't know what's going on. It takes tough skin. You know, so to be able to do something like this is a great lesson to be able to share with people. You're going to get a bunch of no's, but just make sure you're ready for your yes. And make sure you know why you want your yes. It got to be beyond surface level. Otherwise, you're not going to last. Otherwise, you will be hurt by every single no. But when your why is greater than the surface, it's like it's all good. When it's right, it's going to be right. And then also knowing your people, especially in these days of, you know, it's easy to get caught up in a comparison trap with social media. Knowing that your people are your people. You know, they could be another MC. They could be someone else doing similar type of work that I do, but my folk are my folk. They're going to show up. People are waiting for you to show up.
They're waiting for you to show up. Some people, they want to see you win. There's a subset of people that want to see you win. Those are your people.
Those are your people. They don't, no matter what's going on, they're waiting for you. Okay, you haven't put out some music in a little while. It's okay, girl. When you're ready, come on back. We're here for you. Your folk are your folk. So I guess to try to simplify that, just know that what's for you is out there, but don't just lean on that. Be prepared for it when it shows up, and know that people are rooting for you. It's easy, you know, today's society is like, I cut people off, you know what I'm saying? You know, we're about to start seeing all those memes. The new year is coming.
You know, they're coming. Soon as Christmas is done, like it's like you'll see them pop up everywhere.
It cut everybody off in 2021. It's like, come on.
Yeah,
change your mindset. Who are you bringing with you? Who are you still rocking with? Who are you acknowledging for waiting for you to show up and supporting you on your path?
No, I love that. Now, you have been seen by many. You are adored and revered by many. Our brother in music, DJ Premier, aka Primo, named you the Spit Queen. Let's talk about that. Let's talk
Primo
about it.
told me I'm the Spit Queen, spit hard. Like it's so surreal because like I'm sitting here chill. It's just so surreal. Like when I really think about this, like I really have 2 songs with DJ Premier. The legendary, super humble, as you know, DJ Premier.
What does that feel like? What, like this is DJ Premier who produced Gangstar. This is DJ Premier who did Christina Aguilera. DJ Premier who did Nas. DJ Premier. The list goes on and on. You have records with him. Take me to that moment or those moments where I don't know if he sent the record to you, if you're in the studio, if you're penning it. Like, what is going through your mind while you're trying to create magic with a premier record? Not and quote, and pardon the pun, not just a premier record, but a DJ Premier record.
Facts, right? So if anything, this is truly a full dream pusher moment, because I don't know what came over me that made me open my mouth and get bold, but I'm glad I did. What happened was my DJ, South DJ Sandman, had sent him one of my songs. So he's like, I like this. He starts playing it on Live from Headquarters, his radio show, right? Then he comes to, at the time I was in Tampa. I was based in Tampa. He's in Tampa for a party, and he tells us, hey, swing by the sound check. So I'm like, all timid. All right, you know? He's like, come up on the stage. I'll come up here. So we go up, and he's dropping his beats for sound check. And something came over me, shouts to God, because usually I'd be like waiting for somebody else to make the link for me. And I was like, I want that one. And he was like, I bet I'll send it later. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Industry talk. He gonna send it. I'll be waiting for it for weeks and months and years.
And he legit sent the beat. It was called Epic-ish. Epic-ish. And that's the song that became Epic Dynasty, our first song. So he sent me that. I have the video on YouTube, like, of me sitting there writing, because you're like, this has to be dope. Like, I mean, everything, you know, I want everything to be dope, but it's premiere. You cannot fumble this.
You can't fumble that.
You can't fumble.
You can't fumble the rock on that.
Yeah, there are people who've been in the game for years who want a primo beat. You know what I'm saying? Who are like trying to, I see people in the comments like, when are you going to do a song with this person? When are you going to? And like, here's this girl chilling in Tampa at the time, because I have gone from Queens to Tampa, and he sends me a beat, you know? So I write the joint, send it to him. Now I will say it was a few months before he finished it, before he put his cuts and scratches on it and sent it back. And I was in New York for Rock the Bells, which was in Jersey, actually. I was doing Rock the Bells that year. And he invited us up to the radio show and was like, I'm going to premiere the song. And he's so humble. He's like, all right, I'm going to drop it. You know, I hope you like it. I'm like, you hope I like it? I'm just honored that you actually came through and finished the song and gave me this song. And he dropped it. It was just magical, of course. That was the first one. So the Epic-ish became Epic Dynasty. So we did that. A couple of years later, he's like, let's do another one. Like, let's.
Why not?
What?
I was waiting for you.
I don't got nothing going on. You know what I'm saying? So we did street music, and then we linked in A3C in Atlanta. And we shot the video. We shot a video out there. So both of them have videos. So it's just like so surreal, and so it's just amazing to be an indie artist, a fully indie, unsigned, grinding for myself, but shouts to everybody who helps me on my journey, artist, having 2 songs with DJ Premier. You know what I mean? And that's been so helpful, of course, in my career with touring and meeting folk and doing all kinds of things. So shouts to Premier. I love Primo forever and ever and ever, because he didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? Like, it's Primo.
Nah, it's dope. It's dope. Man, you're checking out Dynasty, my guest today. And hold on, we'll be back right after this break. Give me 1 second.
Yes. All right.
So we are here with the Spit Queen herself. Listen, I didn't name her that. DJ Premier named her that. So we are going to talk about this new single, Come to Me.
Yes.
Inspiration behind this new single. You were in the pandemic creating. Obviously, it didn't get to you. You wanted to come out strong for 2021. Tell us about Come to Me.
It's funny, like, we took a little pause and I was sitting here singing that song to myself. Come to Me is just, other people have been calling it their self-love anthem. It's really like, really tapping back into yourself. So for me, after going through a year where I realized, whoa, I'm so tied to what I do. Over the last decade, I've been touring, I've been doing this, always having something dope to look forward to. Never had time to sit down and deal with any hurt or wounds or trauma or childhood stuff, because it's always something dope to look forward to. You know what I mean? Oh, I just hurt my feelings, but it's all good. I'm about to be on tour in 2 months. You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
I'm about to be out anyway. No matter.
I'm about to be out anyway. Oh, this sucks. This hurts. But whatever. I'm about to record this joint with Primo. Like, whatever, my life is good. When you sit down for a year and those things stop, and that connection, that feedback that you get from people, that energy exchange on stage, all of that stops, and you just sitting with, or Dynasty sitting with Diana, or my mama named me, you know what I'm saying? Sitting with Diana, it's like, oh, this gets real. Who am I when I'm not doing those things? And I always felt I had a good sense of that because my music is authentic, and I feel like, well, I am who I am in my music. But when that comes to a pause and it's really just you, who am I now? Like, oh, I didn't really deal with this thing. I didn't really tap into that thing. So come to me is like when you pushing through, you make your way through that, you wade through that, and then it's like, okay, no, this is who I am. It's not even like a finding someone new. It's a return to self. Like, you always been here. You just got a little thrown off. You know what I'm saying? You just got a little, not a little. You got pushed all the way over with this thing and threw you all the way off. But you're still powerful, you're still creative. You've done all of these things like that came from somewhere. It's still there, so just tuning back into worthiness, forgiving yourself for sometimes we feel unworthy and we beat ourselves up for feeling unworthy. It's like, where does this stop? So just really tapping back into your deservedness. Career, life, music, love, whatever. What does that look like for you? Come to me, all of it. I deserve it, all the good stuff. Oh, that's my joint. That's my joint. All the good stuff. Money flow to me, abundance flow to me, good life. All that other stuff could go. All the other stuff could go. Like, I'm confident in saying. So even with the Primo thing, I'm walking in the room like, okay, my DJ gonna introduce me, But I'm a whole MC with a whole dope skill set. He was already playing my song. He had already put my song on his mixtape and went on tour with it around the world. Still, when I walk in the room, I'm
right. But that's just being humble. That's just being grateful. And there's nothing wrong with that. And you're just unapologetically walking in your dopeness, which we have to do now. We were just half joking about some of the memes that we're going to see come to the end of the year, but it's really taking those things and really walking in your dopeness and just be unapologetically yourself. That's exactly this is the time for it. We've gone through so much change and evolution over the past 2 years. Why not lead with that and lead with humanity?
Yeah,
right. Have to do that. Have to do that. So I really appreciate you sharing that, and I'm loving how you've evolved and everything that you've done. I have been a fan. Yes, a friend, but I've been a fan, and there's nothing wrong with that. People get wrapped up in, oh, well, I'm not sweating that person. I'm not. No, it's not that I'm sweating her. Right. I appreciate what she's giving out to the universe, what she's doing to fill people up in their soul and in their spirit, and I am a fan of that. Right, so I appreciate that, sis. I've been playing this game, University of Dope, with a lot of my guests. So of course, I would be remiss if I didn't invite the great PLMC Dynasty to the game. This is called University of Dope.
Okay.
It is a hip hop trivia game. There are no right answers. There are no wrong answers. And how can I say this? No one gets offended. Unpopular opinions are welcomed.
Okay.
Right? So, Dynasty, are you ready to play University of Dope?
Let's do it. Let me take a sip of water. Lord, I'm nervous. Let's see.
All right, here we go. If you had to reinstate one back into hip hop, who would it be? A, Guru, B, Nipsey Hussle, C, Nate Dogg, or D, Big Pun?
Oh, this gets real. If I had to reinstate one, I'm gonna go with Guru.
All right. Worst rapper in Hollywood, because you're out there. Is it A, Will Smith? Is it B, Nick Cannon? Is it C, Bow Wow? Or D, Mark Wahlberg?
I can't even think of Marky Mark's raps, so I'm gonna have to go with him. I know as an actor he's great, but raps, I don't know.
Best comeback into the rap game. Is it A, 2 Chainz, B, Meek Mill, C, Remy Ma, or D, Gucci Mane?
I'm going with Remy.
All right. All right. If you had to erase one person from hip-hop history, who would it be? A, Queen Latifah, B, MC Lyte, C, Lauryn Hill, or D, Missy Elliott?
I can't even pick. You still holding the card, like you gotta pick somebody.
Keep in mind, you can only pass once. And I still got about 9 cards. You can only pass once.
Oh, I might have to pass. I can't erase any of these women because they have all influenced me in some way, and I honor all of them. So I know they probably, we gonna skip. I just use my pass. Shoot.
All right.
Okay.
$75,000 or tickets to the Rock Nation brunch? Which one you taking?
$75,000.
Erase one person from hip hop history. Who would it be? A. Swiss Beats, B. Dr. Dre, C. Pharrell, or D. Timbaland?
Okay, if I had to pick somebody, Missy is right there. So Leah, that's Pharrell.
I like how you talking this out. How you talking this out. Yeah.
If I had to, sorry, Pharrell.
Pharrell gotta go. Pharrell gotta go. One gotta go. Who is it? A. Black Thought, B. Mos Def, C. Common, or D. Talib Kweli?
Well, it's definitely not Mos or Talib because they are two in one of my top favorite groups of all time. So Black Thought or Common. Black Thought. Sorry, as fire as he is.
If someone wanted to experience hip hop for the first time, what album would you give them? A. Low End Theory, Tribe Called Quest. B. Enter the Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers by the Wu-Tang Clan. C. Straight Outta Compton, NWA, or D. Paid in Full, Eric B. and Rakim?
Hip hop for the first time. I'm gonna go with Tribe because that's around the block from where I grew up, so I'm gonna represent.
Okay. Best hip hop soundtrack is A. Get Rich or Die Trying, B. Above the Rim, C. 8 Mile, or D. Juice?
So I don't remember Above the Rim and 8 Mile. I mean, Juice or Get Rich. Ooh. Can it be a tie? No tie. I gotta pick one. Let's go with Get Rich or Die Trying.
All right. Now we get into the crux of this thing.
Oh God.
If these 4 MCs were on the same track today, and let's just say it's a primo record, it's a primo track. Who comes out on top? Is it A. LL Cool J, B. Rakim, C. KRS-One, or D. Big Daddy Kane?
MC's on a primo. First of all, we're considering Supreme beat. So I'm tied between right now Rakim and KRS, but I'm gonna go KRS.
All right. Who is winning in a jailhouse brawl? Is it A. The Brat, B. Remy Ma, C. Young M.A., or D. Foxy Brown?
It's not Foxy. It's not. I'm gonna go with Remy because Remy showed us she about that life. So I'm gonna go with Remy.
One gotta go. Is it J. Cole, B. Drake, C. Kendrick Lamar, D. Childish Gambino?
Childish Gambino. Damn, should I go with Drake? No, Childish Gambino.
Best Jay-Z album is A. Reasonable Doubt, B. The Blueprint, C. Volume 2 Hard Knock Life, or D. 444?
I'm gonna go with. For me, it's either because I keep it 100. I was late on Reasonable Doubt, so it's gonna be The Blueprint or Volume 2. Let's go with The Blueprint.
All right. Erase one person from hip hop history. Who would it be? A. Nas, B. The Notorious B.I.G., C. Tupac, or D. Jay-Z?
Yeah, they killing me. This game is messed up. This is like the same version, just as hard as the women, and I can't pass anymore. Erase one person. Oh my gosh, I can't.
Come on, see what you got.
Can't erase anybody. I can't. They're gonna flame me. I can't pick nobody. This is a lose-lose situation.
So normally this is a pop quiz. So I want you to finish this lyric. Juicy. And I'm gonna give you the first line, but I want you to repeat that verse. It was all a dream.
I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine, hanging pictures on my wall. Every Saturday, rap attack, Mr. Magic Molly Mall. I let my tape rock till my tape pop, smoking weed and bamboo. Way back when I had the red and black lumberjack with the hat to match. Remember rapping, dude? The ha, you never thought that hip hop would take it this far. Now I'm in the limelight because I rhyme tight. Time to get paid, blow up like the world trade. born sinner, opposite of remember winner. Remember when I used to eat sardines for dinner? Peace to Funk Flex. No.
Ron G.
Ron G.
Kid Capri.
Yes.
Master
The
Flex.
love
Bug
Bug Yes. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. Call the crib, same number, same hood. It's all good. Hey. And if you don't know, now
you know.
You know something, you gotta hear it and you get every lyric.
Exactly. Dynasty.
90%.
Dynasty. Thank you for playing University of Dope. Listen, it's a dope card game. Go to udope.com. Support them. It's amazing. I always like to ask my guests, Dynasty, music is a soundtrack to our lives. For you, what song best represents your journey up to this point, or what artist best represents your journey up to this point?
Is it okay if I use one of my songs?
Most certainly.
Okay, so we talked about Come To Me. That's definitely a part of it. But since we already talked about that, I'm going to pick another one that I released just before that. And it's called Attention. And that's talking about, it says, come sit down and witness the experience. It's wins and weariness, joys and pain and tears and healing. It's willingness to be open in the open and show them how I keep going with skin glowing. Yeah, baby. It's that magic, right? It's just like, yo, we're all having our own experiences. And then with the pandemic, we're all having this collective experience together. Like, let's bear witness to that with each other. Like, let's hold space for each other's vulnerability. Let's hold space for each other to be open in the open. Be open with somebody else. Stop holding all of that stuff in. So for me, and I think about my life, it's like, that's where the growth and the healing and, you know, all the good stuff starts coming in, when I'm able to sit and say, it's okay. You're all right. You're okay. We okay. You know what I'm saying? And create and hold space for someone else to show up and do the same, or show you how to do it by me doing it. She could do that. She's out here letting people know life ain't always easy, but look, she's still winning. Like, okay, maybe I can talk to somebody or be open about these things. So I think that's a great song to just talk about my life up until this point, going through things, growing through things, overcoming things, showing up, shining, winning, blooming, living, loving, all of the good stuff. All the good stuff. All the good stuff. You know.
I just had the opportunity to start the June Archer School of Arts, where we teach kids how to DJ, filmmaking, graphic design, and we create a record company in the classroom that they learn all the departments and all the intricacies of the music business. For you, how important, if you could just talk to the kids or talk to the parents, how important is it for our kids to have music back into schools, even if we're just reimagining it in a different form and fashion, to make sure that they have the opportunity to get their hands on creative arts? How important is that?
It's critical. And first of all, congratulations. I love that you're doing that. That's super dope. I actually used to run a youth program called Push Project for years, up until I relocated to LA, and I would go into the schools and we would do empowerment via the arts. So I love that. And what I've learned, what I knew going into it and what I saw as evidence while there, is that kids learn, you reach them differently through the arts. You're not coming in as the authority figure and saying, you need to learn this skill set now, and writing it out and reading it. When we can write about these things, when we can do skits, right? And they can act out and they can see, what does it feel like when you're treated this way? Or if we're talking about bullying or whatever it is, acceptance. What does it feel like? I would do these rhyme circles, like this little, and someone would get in the middle and they, you know, we do a little beat and first say, I am beautiful. The crowd say back to them, you are beautiful. I am beautiful. You are beautiful. I am beautiful. You are too. And that's how we do when a dream push a crew. You know, like we would have, that's one of our little activities, affirming each other. And these are things that maybe this kid wouldn't go up and even know how to affirm another child. But they're learning these things. So we're learning through the music. And you can also psych the babies out with this because they're having fun. They're having fun. So you're tapping into them in a different way through creativity, through the arts. And through that, you can teach them life skills. You teach them collaboration. You teach them teamwork. You teach them confidence. No, we want to know what you have to say too. It's not just what so-and-so has to say. You know, sometimes when they look at us, it's like, oh, there's one star. That's the star, right? But when you get with all of them and they all get a chance to shine, oh, I'm a star too. I'm important too. My part of this project matters. So you guys are working on songs. You're working on, I love the concept of the label. You're all important. Okay, so you have the music. So who's making the beat? Oh, you're important too. Oh, you need a contract. Who's gonna learn about that part? Who's gonna come and handle these numbers? And that's what we did. Who's managing these numbers? Who's gonna do that? Oh, you're good at that. We need you for that. You know, who's tough and who stands up for themselves and wants to stand up for other people. Okay, can you be my manager? Can you make sure nobody gets me, nobody takes advantage of me? You get to show them the parts of the business and what they bring to the table matters. And I think that's so important for children, and children who grow up with that foundation. You know, that's how you change the future. And you can do that through the arts more so than you can do through us walking into a classroom and just telling them, you need this skill set to grow up. You need to know your math. Here's why. You want to be a football player? Dope. You want to know how to manage your money? You know, you want to be a rapper? Dope. The kids will ask me, you live in a mansion? you have a fancy car? Let's talk about what it takes to get there. Let's talk about the management and all of that, you know. So I love that you're doing that. And it's critical. Those are the things that I found really the value that you bring in a program like that, and why you need to get these schools. No, they get away from it and we see the effects of it, you know.
We need it. We need it. Where can we follow you? Where can we get the new single, Come to Me? And how can we continue to support Dream Pusher?
All right. Come to Me is available everywhere, but you can get it on my website, yourgirldy.com. YA girl, let's be clear, dy.com. Listen to it on Spotify all you want, but go buy it at yourgirldy.com. Also, speaking on just building people up, again, I love what you're doing with the kids. When I shifted from that, I moved into creating a space for adults, because the parents would be like, we need something like this, right? So I started Bloom and Ink, and that's about personal growth, promoting personal growth through creativity, connection, and conversation. So we're having these conversations through the music, and the same thing with the adults. We're using the music as a catalyst to bring us together and have a good time, but we're going behind the songs and talking about what Come to Me means, and creating space for people to sit down and share their journeys and experiences with one another, and encourage our own personal bloom, encourage our own growth. So that's what Bloom and Ink is about. So I'm going to invite folks to check that out as well. bloominink.com, BLOOMININK.com. And of course on Instagram, I'm at Your Girl Dynasty, and that'll link you to all of that good stuff.
No, I'm loving it. I hope you guys really had an opportunity to dive in with us. The Spit Queen, a lot of takeaways. Get ready for your yes, right? Even when obstacles come in your way and doors are slammed and you're getting the no's, always get ready for your yes. And having the willingness to learn, to live, to be present, to be omnipresent. And one of the things that I thought was dope that Dynasty shared was being bold in those moments when the universe will bless you exponentially. You heard about her chance opportunity with DJ Premier and what it yielded. Don't be afraid to ask for something that you want, but be careful about what you ask for, because you just might get it.
Exactly.
That is Dynasty. I am June Archer. This is the Winner Circle Motivate You on thisis50.com. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Like it, love it, rate it, share it. But more importantly, tell somebody you love them. It may be the last time you have the opportunity to do so. This is June Archer. Peace.